We're back. We're talking the Rise intuition. We're talking women's boots here with Jackson Schoepp, the master of all things of quality, comfort in the world of Ronix footwear. How's it going, bud?
It's good, man. Let's talk about the lady shredders in our life, right?
Lady shredders. So, when Ronix started, one of the focuses that, was important was high-end women's product. You know what I mean? Emily Copeland was one of the Ronix OGs. And, everything that was put into the one and the idea of high-end men's was also just as important for the ladies.
Yeah, and I think that's been true with Ronix forever, is like, let's make a product for everybody, right? Like, let's not to say the same product works for everybody. Let's actually do our homework, do our R&D, and design a product around each individual customer, which I think is super unique.
Exactly. This is an interesting, we were just talking off camera about this, and the original high-end boot in 2007 was called the Rise boot.
The Rise, yeah, that's super cool. So in a way, it's like that one boot, right? Where it's like, it's been with us this whole time. It's lived under a few different names, but we've always had like the same vision of like designing the best boot for women's riding specifically.
Very cool. We kind of already been touching on this, but the purpose of the Rise in the world of women's wakeboarding is to offer that quality.
Yeah,
for
sure.
I mean,
right, and like not just like taking a one boot and scaling it, right? Like we didn't want to just like, oh, here's what works for the guys, we'll just make a couple smaller sizes. Like
that's what happens in a lot of, I feel like so much across the board in wakeboarding and it's like, oh, here's the guy's board, let's just scale it down, make it softer, and then that's a women's board. Oh, here's the guy's boot, let's just make it softer, and here's a women's boot.
Right, and so it's been cool to like follow that process of like, no, let's throw out the playbook and let's really start from scratch on like what works best for the women's, like not only their feet and their proportions, right, but like the motions that they're making on a wakeboard. So that's been like a huge point of this boot, and that's something that we're just continuing to evolve.
Very cool. Intuition liners.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we couldn't take that out of it, right? Like all of our high-end men's boots have that Intuition liner. We want to shed some light on that with our women's stuff too. So it's actually a bit of a softer foam, but it still has the full capability to be customized and heat molded, right? So that's gonna,
ladies, heat mold
them boots, take them in.
Heat them up.
It's just gonna cut down on break-in time, right? Like we've all had that new pair of snowboard boots, those new kicks you just got, where it's like, oh, they're rubbing here, they're rubbing there. Like by heat molding them, you're just gonna cut down into that, and it's gonna be the same shape every time, just perfectly wrapping around your feet.
Love that. Materials. Let's move into a little deep dive.
Yeah, of course.
What these things made of.
Yeah, so it's really fun to experiment with all these different materials. We've got like this super cool textured Trivella Nubuck material on the boot again this year. So it's the same.
Trivella Nubuck.
Trivella Nubuck. Yes.
Trivella Nubuck.
Trivella Nubuck material. That's on the outside of this thing.
It's kind of fun to say.
It is. Every once in a while, one of those comes across my desk. That's really fun to say. So I try to work it in. But new colors for this year. It'll still like match that kick-ass Rise board graphic that we've got going on. And just again, like that new chassis for this year.
Yeah. Can't forget about that.
That mainframe 2.0 high cut. So everything that was formerly brain frame is now transitioned to this new mainframe 2.0 high cut. It's more simplistic, more of a durable, rigid connection between that upper shell and the base plate. And I think we're really gonna notice some improvements there.
And then we got 4 options in the size range. We got a 6 to 10.
Totally, and like you said before, like we're not just putting men's sizes on women's boots. So It's actually a women's 6, a women's 8, a women's 9, a women's 10. Like we're making sure that we're sizing it appropriate to like what they're familiar with, right?
Yeah, which I think makes such a huge difference than just, here's some guys' boots that are smaller.
Right, exactly, right. And we don't even necessarily match the same sizes. Like we're definitely trying to match the same women's size chart that you typically see, so.
100%, that's awesome. And then let's talk about flex and feeling.
Right. So flex and feeling, I think, are just two different things, right? Like we talk about feeling a lot where it's like edge to edge, right? And so like that, you're still gonna want like a bunch of support. You're gonna want like that foot on the gas feel when it's time to turn that board towards the wake or edge towards that big kicker. Like we gotta go. So I feel like this one's a really good marriage in between like those other boots we've talked about where it's somewhere in the middle, right? So it's a 7 out of 10 flex rating side to side, but you're still getting a lot of that responsiveness from that chassis, from that intuition liner, from that base plate. So I think it lays right in the middle there, and I think it meshes well with a lot of our women's riding.
And yeah, I think that's huge, is having the ability for some movement, some modulation and tweakage.
Some tweakability, yeah, the tweakability scale.
Yeah, that's great. And for like the true first high-end women's boot, best-selling.
Yeah, I mean it definitely takes a page out of the playbook of the Rise board, right?
Yeah.
Like they didn't stop at any, like they made sure it had that air core in there. Like they're putting all the materials into the board to make it the most high-end women's board, and we're definitely trying to replicate that on the boot side, which is hopefully led to its popularity, right? Like it's getting noticed, which is cool.
Women's portions.
Yep.
Response, comfort, adaptability.
Yep. Some pretty cool colors.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Ladies, remember, heat mold your boots.
Heat mold them.
Check out the Rise.